Hello, Mayor Rosalynn Bliss here, providing an update for the month of October. Happy fall to you. I hope you're enjoying the change of the season and you're gearing up for the holidays, which are just around the corner. So a couple updates. Our next City Commission meeting, we'll be voting on a number of things. Two important things where we've gotten a lot of community input and the community has been actively engaged is changing two streets, changing their names. So we're looking at changing Franklin to Martin Luther King Jr. and Grandville to Cesar Chavez. So if that is supported, that will be happening over the next 3 to 4 months. So those name changes will happen next year. You'll see those street signs change. Couple other updates. A couple weeks ago, the City Commission, we approved accepting a grant, I should say, through the federal government for a COPS grant. So I know I've heard from a lot of you in the community sharing your concerns about public safety, your concerns about the increase in gun violence. So with the acceptance of this grant, that will enable our police department to enhance patrols and add an additional 5 sworn police officers. So the police department is in the process of hiring, as is our fire department. So if you know anyone who maybe is serving in another community and they want to come here, please let them know. If you know anyone right here in our community who would like to be a part of our police department or fire department, please add this information to the information that you provide to them. It's a really great opportunity to get engaged and to come work with great teams here at the city. Going back to our police department, we are in the process of doing a search for our next police chief. So there are some community forums coming up. You can find that information on our website. So the search firm really wants to hear from the community throughout the process, including early on as we finalize, what are the core qualities we're looking for in the next chief. So we want to hear from you and we want you to be involved. So please weigh in either by joining one of those forums or by sending your information in writing. A couple final things I want to touch on. I want to thank the West Michigan Sustainable Business Forum. So they recently recognized the city of Grand Rapids for the work that we're doing to address climate change. So the city was given the Climate Leadership Award, and they had an event to really highlight the work being done, not just here in the city of Grand Rapids, but throughout our entire community when we all work together to reverse climate change. Two things to end on. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So there's a number of events happening throughout our community. There will be a candlelight vigil on the Blue Bridge and then a number of memorial events where we pause to recognize those who have lost their lives to domestic violence, as well as to increase awareness around domestic violence. So if you are interested in participating, you can find more information on my Facebook page, as well as through Safe Haven Ministries and the YWCA. They are really great partners in our community, really leading a lot of this work to not just respond to incidents of domestic violence, but to prevent domestic violence. And then last, I want to thank everyone who came out for the Mayor's Greening Initiative. So this is an initiative that I take on in partnership with Friends of Grand Rapids Parks, where we get out into neighborhoods and we plant trees. So we were out in Burton Heights where we planted over 250 trees. We also took this as an opportunity to honor and recognize an incredible woman in our community who gives back in a lot of ways, and that's Angelica Velasquez. So we were able to honor her. We planted a tree in her honor. We'll add a plaque to that tree and recognize the work that she's done, but also the work that everyone does to make our community a better place. A reminder that the Mayor's Greening Initiative, we don't use any taxpayer dollars. I work with Friends of Grand Rapids Parks and we raise private dollars to support that effort to purchase all the trees, and then we utilize community members and volunteers to come out and help us plant those trees. So this is one way that we can give back and green up our community. We do it every year. We pick a different part of the city and neighborhood where we know that they need additional trees because they lack tree canopy. And so we've been doing this now. This is our 6th year. Next year, I'm hoping to plant 500 trees in another neighborhood in the city. This year we broke it up. We did a spring planting and a fall planting to spread it out because of COVID, but hopefully next year we'll be back together on one weekend and we'll be able to plant 500 trees together at that time. So with that, thank you again for everyone who joined me over this past couple of weeks out there planting trees, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this month.